Hello and welcome to TOP, Talking One Piece. And today's video is a fight between two brothers, non-biological of course, Ace versus Sabo. And, well, this is a major spoiler for people who have not been keeping up with the manga or the anime, as, spoiler alert, well, you would have already seen by now, and you should already know, Sabo is quote unquote back from the dead. He never really died, but we find out that he was alive and he's a part of the Revolutionary Army and he's an absolute badass. And of course Ace, another spoiler, though a lot longer ago, Ace dies, gets killed by Alkainu, and because his powers the flame fruit, he dies and the flame fruit regenerates, and it's Sabo who then takes the flame fruit. You know, sort of passing down from brother to brother. Yeah. So that's very cool. But it raises the question, who is stronger between them? They're close to the same age, and when they were younger, they were pretty equal in fighting skills. It's going to be a very interesting match. I'm going to go through each of them separately, say the ways and the reasons why they would win, and then make a quick little mention to which one's my favorite, which one I like. Not that has an effect on the choice. I'll always do it as objectively as possible and look at what I know and stuff. And if you guys ever feel that I have not given the right sort of reasoning, then you tell me who you think who you would think would win, and then you can also give me other ideas for battles. But anyways, let's start this. I'll start off with Ace, seeing that he's the first brother of Luffy that we are introduced to. Porcus D. Ace. Okay, so this guy, the first user that we know of the flame fruit. The reasons why he would beat Sabo is when they were younger, though they were extremely even, Ace was the one that had the more wins. You can see that in the flashbacks, in the tallies. Luffy's obviously the weakest at the time, at least. And, they were the two that were facing each other. They were very close to the same age. If not the same age. And let's give a background of Ace. He is the second commander of the Whitebeard crew, which is a crazy feat. He was actually in charge over Blackbeard, who then betrayed them by killing one of the fellow crewmates. And yeah, so that's an extremely good title. Let's think. So he had a lot more time with the flame fruit. He did a lot in comparison. He's done, when you look solely on the flame fruit, I think he's the better use of it. He has better use of it. The firefly, the green balls that blow up, the don't forget the sun commandment, where he basically carries a huge sun, which he uses against Blackbeard. Moves like that, the pistols, even though I think Sabo can do stuff like that as well. But I think Ace is better with the flame fruit. He won more when he was a child, and I would say if I had to pick one for who was younger, I would say Ace would be the stronger one. But this is where it gets tough. I think this is one of the closest matches, and we'll leave Ace there, because I think we can come back to him after we bring up Sabo. Okay, Sabo. his title, after, his latest title, is the second in command of the Revolutionary Army. He's the number 2. Okay, so reasons why he would beat Ace. If you look at it, Sabo uses Haki. And now we know that Ace had at least Conqueror's Haki, but we never saw Ace utilize Armament Haki. He often relied on his flame fruit, and I did say that his use of flame fruit is superior to Sabo when we just look at the flame fruit. But then again, also Ace had a lot more time with it, and Sabo has Haki, the Armament Haki, and he uses it even if Ace did have it. Sabo uses it a lot more and a lot more efficiently. Sabo also uses the technique of the Dragon Claw. He has other techniques that he utilizes with the flame fruit. And if you've seen some of the moves he pulls off, they're mind blowing. The Dragon Breath, that's before he even gets the flame fruit, and then that huge Fire Fist when he destroys the Colosseum, absolutely just devastating. I think being under Dragon and being under the Revolutionary Army, it's sort of tough to say because it's sort of like, who's a bigger influence, Whitebeard or Dragon? We don't know too much about Dragon, so we don't know his potential. We do know Whitebeard was titled as the strongest man after Goldie Roger's death. So it's really tough to decide, but I feel like in terms of training, I think Sabo is the one who's definitely had the more training. I feel that Whitebeard had him more of a son and didn't really train him as much as Dragon would have trained Sabo, as it seems. He was, a screw by himself and worked by himself. Yeah, so it's really interesting and really tough. This is one of the most interesting fights when you really get down into it. Because they both use the same fruit. They're both brothers, Luffy's brothers. They're both around the same age. They were both almost equal when they were kids. So it's really tough. Also, so let's look on terms of Ace. Ace had above him Whitebeard, then Marco, who was first in command, then Ace. Sabo has Dragon, then Sabo. So, in terms of rankings, Sabo's a higher rank in relations to his group than Ace, but then again we don't know how powerful Dragon is, but then again he is known as the most dangerous and wanted man in the world, but then again that could also just be due to him rising against and building the Revolutionary Army, not necessarily his strength. Not saying that I don't think he's strong, he could be, and possibly is, one of the strongest characters in One Piece. Anyways, I also feel, however, that this is a unfair sort of, like, from how I'm sounding, it seems pretty obvious that I would say Sabo is the winner, right? His superior Haki in terms of at least using it in fighting, his higher rank, the fact that he could stand against Fujitora, who's a admiral, when Ace got he got defeated and ended up getting killed by Alkayunu. But then again, with that, I know I'm sort of going off to a tangent, but I do feel like this is an important point to take into account. Alkayunu, his Devil Fruit was superior, so it wasn't a complete fair fight, sort of comparing Enel to Luffy. Enel couldn't do anything. Well, he figured out ways, but he was at a large disadvantage to Luffy, who was rubber. Um, so, yeah, and also I feel like Alkeunu at the time, he was the strongest admiral. He was definitely, he was in the argument for being the strongest, if not the strongest, second strongest, but I think he was the strongest. I think he's personally stronger than Kizaru. Kizaru has the speed, but Alkeunu would end up taking him down. And we know that Alkeunu is stronger than Kuzan, as he beat him in the 10-day fight at Punk Hazard. But Fujitora, I do not think was as strong as Alkeunu at that time. Maybe close. Who knows? Maybe stronger, but there's no real definitive reason to believe either way. But we do know that Ace was at a disadvantage with the Flame against the Magma, which Sabo doesn't have with the Gravity. Flame and Gravity doesn't have a distinct hierarchy. It's just how you use it. So it seems fairly obvious he'll be also both stronger, right? But let me make this point. This is 2 years after, and look at how much Luffy changed in those 2 years. Sabo at this moment is 2 years older. I'm assuming because I'm pretty sure that they're either the same age or very close. So 2 years older than Ace when he died. So that's where I think it's the unfair part of it, going off Sabo's stronger. If Sabo's moves weren't more impressive than Ace's, that would be, if anything, more of a worry. As in, because it's been 2 years. He has that 2 years extra of training and stuff and development that Ace didn't get. He got killed. And, who knows, maybe Ace would have stayed the same. People could argue that his growth would have been slower than Sabo. But you don't know, because the changes can happen fast and then slow and fast. Like, you look at the whole year of Luffy before the 2 year time skip, and then you look at the 2 year time skip, boom. And yes, there was huge progression in that year as well. But, yeah, people can come a long way in 2 years. Like, look at Alkeunu. Alkeunu went from one of the strongest admirals to possibly one of the strongest characters in the whole thing, becoming Fleet Admiral. And even Oda says himself that he would have been able to, that Alkeunu would have been able to finish One Piece in 2 years. Now, I'm not sure if that meant 2 years in real time or 2 years in that time. I assume 2 years in that time, but besides the point, that's crazy. So I think that's like a reason to lean at least to lean to Ace, or at least level the field a bit. And then also the fact that Ace did beat Sabo more than Sabo beat Ace. I do also feel like Ace was the older brother. He seemed like if any one of them was older. I'm not sure, I could be wrong with this, but that's how I felt, and that's the idea I got. But yeah, I can't really think of too many points at the moment. Now, my favorite, I have a very close spot for Ace. I do feel like this is a bit unfair, seeming that we've seen Ace a lot more than Sabo. And I don't read the manga, so I'm even further behind, but I keep up with the anime. So I haven't seen Sabo anywhere near as much as I've seen Ace, but they're almost even to me. This one's more closer than my other ones. I'd say Ace edges him out a little bit more. But that could change. I do see the potential of that changing. I just thought I might as well say that. But with this one, I don't think I'm going to be able to say a winner. I'm going to do it. This is the first time. I'm calling it a draw. Now, guys, let me know what you thought of my conclusion and the points that I made. Tell me the points in the comment section below, and I'll respond. Who knows? I might even make a video part 2 to this. Give me any topic idea relating to One Piece, and I'll make a video of it, and go into depth about it, and try and discuss with you guys and give my opinions, and I express your opinions and say what I think about them, and and also give you ideas and see how you respond to them. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, share the video, and like always, keep talking One Piece.